But it is getting bad out there. Some of our politicians are being attacked. Our New York gubernatorial, is that what it is? Gubernatorial GOP candidate Lee Zedlin was attacked by a man who had kind of like a sharp brass knuckle configuration. The news said he was almost stabbed. Now, punctured probably would have been a much more fair assessment. It did look a bit big. I also wasn't a fan of the weapon. The brass knuckle, to me, anytime I ever held one, put my fingers in one, I just always thought, oh, this is going to hurt my fingers too. This is not going to be fun for me either. So I better hope that when I am swinging at somebody, it's worth it. But to try to stab, that's a bad maneuver because now you got blood on your hand. Who knows where that man's blood has been? He is a politician. I just don't like it as a weapon of choice. I probably would have gone katana, but it's very hard to hide those. You can't hide them. It's an all or nothing proposition. But if you are going to try to stab a politician, it is an all or nothing proposition. Look at anyone who's ever assassinated or tried to assassinate a president. That's an all or nothing proposition. You've dedicated yourself to a moment. And you can't get out of it. You're stuck in it. You've chosen to do it. So you got to have the right weapon. Now, I'm not advocating for assassinating people, though I would have to ask in this case, since he's just a gubernatorial candidate, and I believe he might be a New York congressman, is he famous enough to be assassinated? Like, do we just toss that word around? I know regular people get murdered but never assassinated. I think assassinated has to count for people of power. But what's the balance between, like, at what level of famous do I get where I'm assassinated? Like, how many views or downloads of this podcast do I have to have that if someone attempts to kill me, I am assassinated? Now, I'm not asking to be assassinated. I would just like to know I'm assassination worthy. That would be fair. I think we should all know what our assassination worth is. I think, legitimately, the government should print out like a sheet going, if someone was going to hire to kill you, or someone was going to hire someone to kill you, this is what you're worth. It will make you rethink some things like, what am I doing with my life? How can I raise this? Wow. How can I raise this to another level? How can I make myself more valuable in death? He has traditional GOP politics, you know. He's anti-abortion, loves guns. So he's got standard fare. It's not like he's doing anything different. The guy I did try to assassinate him had an Operation Iraqi Freedom hat on. So it's like, did he come back from the war and go, all GOP guys got to get it? But why this particular guy? Lee Zedlin's a nobody. No offense. I just don't see it. I just don't think he's assassination worthy. And that's not to be mean. You know, it's not to belittle him in any way. But I just don't think he was assassination worthy. I just don't. If I'm going to assassinate somebody, it's going to be top flight person. You know, we're talking president, we're talking CEO. You know, we're talking about real, mover and shaker. New York governor candidate, doesn't work for me. That rat don't grab the pizza at all for me. Doesn't make sense. And I'm not surprised he got away with it. You know, they locked him up, and then according to bail reform, they let him go. I guess, going after a political person is no longer a serious crime. Who knew? There are plenty of politicians I wish I had stabbed. Not saying I would. I've thought about it. I just don't have the conviction, really. I think if you are, once again, assassination, you got to really give into it. You got to dedicate your life to it. And you got to know that whatever happens afterwards is no longer in your hands. Go look to this guy trying to get a job. Type his name in him. Try to assassinate a guy. But I'm not surprised, There's not a lot of law and order in New York anymore.